Hey guys, so this week I'm going to do my very first story time video. I had my first job interview yesterday. So let's start from the beginning. Today's Monday. Saturday morning I got up and I had a message on my phone. A couple months ago, I applied for a job with the local township in our state. I hadn't heard anything from the township about an interview or anything for like a month and a half, 2 months. So I was really starting to get worried. Saturday I had this call, checked my messages, and it was a call from, I don't know what she is, but she's some kind of director or something, asking if I would be available to come in for an interview Sunday afternoon. I was ecstatic. This is going to be my first real job. The first thing I did was tell my parents, and my mom said, "You better call her back," so I called her back, and I said, "I got your voicemail about the interview," and she said, "Pick a time any time after this time," and I picked a time. So yesterday, Sunday, I get up, I had church, and then I had my interview at 2. Now, here's where it gets good and nerve-wracking. I'm one of those people that you could ask me 2 hours before something big is happening if I'm nervous, and I'm gonna be totally confident. I'm gonna say, I'm fine, I'm totally alright. It's usually between a half hour and an hour before a big event, that I start getting extremely nervous and anxious and have some kind of panic attack. That's just me. So with my interview at 2, we're getting in the car, going to get lunch around 12:30 or 1, and that's when I start getting really anxious. We go to lunch, and I went to the building where I was being interviewed, and I got there a little bit early, hoping that would, look good. They called me in, and I expected maybe 2, maybe 3, if even that, people to be in the room interviewing me. I walked in, and there were 4 interviewers. 2 on this side, 2 on this side, and I was to sit at the head of the table. You can imagine, with the anxiety that I've grown up with and had to deal with, and the anxiety that had been building up since an hour before, walking in on a room of 4 people that I know were there specifically to, judge me, which I know that's not really what it is, but that's how I looked at it. Walking into a room of 4 people who were there to judge me got me a little bit nervous. Luckily, I happened to know 2 of them, 2 of the interviewers. One goes to my church, and she was actually the reason that I applied, or not the reason, but she's how I learned about the position, learned about the job. The other one I knew from my softball team. But at the same time, they are trained, as the people who are interviewing me, I know they are trained to not give any feedback, not show any expression on their face in reaction to any of my responses or my answers to the questions. So we go through the first couple questions, which are really easy, simple yes or no questions, and I'm feeling great. I feel like I'm on fire. They're like, do you do any illegal drugs? Do you drink alcohol? Do you smoke? Do you do this? Do you do that? Do you have a legal state driver's license? And all this stuff. All very simple questions, yes or no answers. And then we get to the hard stuff. So the position is for a counseling job at a summer camp, the township summer camp. So I would be working with little kids. So that's one reason why they asked all the background questions. Also, like I said, I'd be working with these little kids, so she gave me some scenarios. But one of them was, you and a coworker have a big group of kids that you decide to split into 2 groups and each take one for yourself. Just out of the corner of your eye, you happen to notice that your coworker isn't paying enough attention to their children they have been assigned to, and one of the children happens to get hurt on their watch. / also my watch, because they were part of my group, which we split up. She says, "What do you do?" Now, obviously, when I'm totally in my right mind, I know that the right thing to do would be to go approach the child, comfort the child, make sure the child, is okay, nothing hurt, make sure anything that with the child that needs to be done gets done. It would be smart to approach said coworker and point out that they were not paying attention. And did you notice that this child did get injured, did get hurt? This did happen on your watch, and that they should really be paying attention. I tried to get those words out, but let's be honest, I am not / was not in my right mind when I had these 4 people staring me down, while they know and I know that their job there was to technically judge me. Couldn't really get the words out because of nerves and everything. And I don't think they understood me because they kept basically saying, but what do you mean? And what do you mean by this? And things like that. And I couldn't really explain it. Total brain fart, total blank expression. I didn't know what was going on. In fact, it's possible I zonked out for a couple of seconds every now and then too, just because I almost wanted to. I almost didn't want to be there. So then they asked a few more scenario questions like that. And in the end, I left, and I know it's normal to think this, but I thought it to a high level. I left this job interview thinking that could have gone a lot better, and I could have been a lot more prepared, which obviously you could be more prepared for anything. I was very stressed out afterwards, and I came out of the interview, like I said, saying that could have gone a lot better, and I even went to school today telling all my friends that I think I totally blew that interview. At the same time, I believe there's still a really, really good possibility that I could get the job, get the position. Tell me what you guys think. If you have kind of a scary, sad first job interview or first something story, let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching.